Hi, Susan Bushel here, energy therapist. I practice energy psychology and, in particular, EFT, emotional freedom techniques. I was working with a couple of clients this morning, and I remembered it's sort of been so obvious for so long, and I haven't really vocalized it, except perhaps maybe with my students when I'm teaching, but for anyone that's considering using EFT and energy psychology techniques to help them with what they're struggling and coping with in life, to try to free themselves from what's upsetting them. It occurred to me that this way of working, we don't tell anybody what they should be doing. I know that sounds very simplistic, but we don't counsel or advise, and we certainly don't judge or criticize. The second half of the setup statement in EFT, I deeply and completely accept myself, is specifically designed so that no matter what you're coping with, how you're coping, no matter what your perspective is, even if it's bizarre, it doesn't matter. We have built into the system of acceptance, self-acceptance, or at least attempting to accept and working towards it. So when you're working with someone like myself, you can bring your stuff to the table, and I'm not going to say you should be doing this or you should be doing that or you should see it this way or that way. You should implement this strategy or that strategy, in terms of how you deal with your world outside of the office. In actual fact, I just simply keep tapping with what you bring up, with what you become aware of, and those layers unfold, layer after layer. The awareness comes to you, and that's why I really think of EFT as a mindfulness technique. You become more and more aware and more mindful of why you're doing what you're doing, and how you had to be to cope with whatever life has thrown your way. And as we tap down through those awarenesses, through those layers, those aspects, eventually that aha moment arrives and you become aware of, oh, now I know why I'm doing what I'm doing, or now I know what's behind this. Now I understand why I cope in this way, even though now it isn't really serving me. At some point it did. And so what usually happens is once those layers are peeled and addressed with your, tapping, so calming your nervous system around the way you had to be, or the perspective you had to have, or the belief system you had to install. Once that's calmed and settled in your nervous system, the solution usually arrives in a beautiful way, in a very specific to you way, and the solution just sort of pops to mind usually. And for me, as a helper, as an EFT practitioner, that is the moment. That's the job done. I know that the client has gotten to the bottom of things when they suddenly become aware of what they're doing and why they're doing, and then the distress is calmed because the nervous system allows them to have access to the front of their brain, to the prefrontal cortex, and they're able to solve their own problem. So I guess what I'm saying in a long-winded way is that the way that I like to work, and I think most EFT practitioners work, is they allow the client to find their own solution through calming their nervous system. And I find that for the client, that's very empowering. If you're coming in hoping that I'm going to tell you what to do to solve your problems, I'm not the right fit for you. That's not what I'm going to do. But if you're coming in and you're wanting to kind of clear the muck in the way so that you can see clearly to what is the best solution for you, EFT work might be just what you need. So that's the thought of the day, my office day to day. And this is Susan Bushel from freeyoremotions.com. Subscribe and share as you feel comfortable to do so. Bye for now.